the most important thing happening this week in Canada is today's announcement.
Next question.
Let me translate for the president what our prime minister actually said there. He said, Mr. President, you can kiss my ass. We don't care what kind of a mood you're in on Wednesday or what kind of tariff threats you impose in the future. We're busy building our own country now. In the speech, the prime minister also said the federal government would be investing alongside the Innu Nation into a wind project in Labrador and will help finance the new transmission lines. Now, it's important to know that there will be an election in Quebec shortly, and the Premier of Quebec, Christine Frechette, had this to say to the Parti Québécois.
I see the Parti Québécois is interested in tearing up this agreement. They don't want to implement it. Okay, so what do they offer to Quebecers if it's not this agreement? Where will they find the 10,000 megawatts we are bringing to Quebec with that agreement? And how will they create 20,000 jobs? Because this is what's in that agreement. It's 23,000 jobs for both Newfoundland and Quebec.
And Quebec Hydro will be the company that will build the new hydroelectric dam. So this is a huge win for Quebec and a huge win for Newfoundland and a huge win for Canada. And this is an opinion that's shared by the Canadian Climate Institute. Churchill Falls deal is massive progress for new clean power and electrifying Canada's economy. The agreement between Quebec, Newfoundland, and Labrador and the federal government shows the level of ambition needed to reach Canada's goal of doubling the electricity grid with clean energy. But I heard a president say that green energy was just a climate scam. It is ironic that just as Canada is embarking on the largest nation-building project in our history, and it's a clean energy project in the United States, the idiot president is spending billions to keep coal alive and kill clean energy.
Through what the leaders are saying.
Well, as you mentioned, Donald Trump says there's a new deal between
country that needs this product, but also has no energy and wants to build data centers. And when you look at that picture, you ask yourself, well, why are you doing this to yourself? But that's the reality that Canadian negotiators.
Because you might be having to on-pass that 50% tariff onto them.
Yeah, that's a great question because the U.S. consumer doesn't quite understand why there's inflation on our prices. So when we have these conversations, either with stores or when we have consumers shopping directly on our e-com, they don't quite understand why we have to hike the prices so up. And we say it's out of our control. We try to explain. But it's interesting.
Tariff rate and what the Americans are putting on the table. You know, auto remains a sticking point. Sources say the latest U.S. offer would lower the tariffs on Canadian-made vehicles to 15%, down from the 25% now in place. And it could go as low as 7.5%, depending on how much U.S. content is used. But sources
for the moment, and that's the concern, right? Because these tariffs were very specifically designed to squeeze businesses, to squeeze industries, to squeeze regions and provinces as well. And remember, the Canadian economy was weak coming into this trade war. It was made weaker by the first round of tariffs. It would have been made weaker by this second round. And yes, the Canadian economy, we've talked about this before, has been more resilient.
Bad decisions that make no sense and move on. You know, an example of that is the aluminum industry.
Hello everyone. Everyone is looking shocked because after the 8 months of the trading war, Canada take a shocking decision that shocked everyone. Canada removed the tariff from the some product of the USA after the negotiation, but we cannot be think about the Trump what could he will be do. We cannot estimate, but Canada behave very sensible. He tried to negotiation and try his first to remove the tariff and expecting from the Trump to remove that tariff of the 50% or decrease or remove or decrease on before 19 August. We know 50% tariff will be implemented on the 19 August, but Canada behaving sensibly and reduce the some tariff from the American products as a negotiation and also expecting from the Trump. But everyone knows Trump is very arrogant and he is not sensible man. He will take all the decisions that will destroy the Mark Carney and the Canada. When Trump decide to, when Trump has a problem with someone, then he will do everything. He does not care whether it affects the people of the both country. He not care. He will only, I think, implement the 19 August. But Canada shocked me. He behaved simple, very sensible. I think he is again trying to be a friendship deal with the America and the Trump negotiation team. He is bearing very sensible. They are expecting that they cannot fight like this, put a tariff, backfire again and again. That is harming the both country, but result will come. That will be clarified on 19 August. But Canada behave sensibly, and they, I think, do a good decision to remove the tariff from the few products, to show the friendship. But everyone know Canada is always helping the America, but Trump is putting the fire on the his friends. That's very bad. Everyone give your opinion in the comment section. Hope you like my video. We will meet in the next video.